KTM Adventure series in its natural setting. Desert roads, 2-track, highway. Why are these V-twin 1-liter bikes here with these desert race bikes?
Does anybody have any extra gas? No.
This was supposed to be a training ride for beginner riders, mostly flat terrain. Andy and Carl challenged each other to ride their brand new 1090Rs out on this single track. No beginners showed. Instead, a bunch of local racers decided to frolic in the desert winter air. And half of them missed the riders' meeting where I told them not to lead the adventure bikes into anything stupid. I sprinted ahead to have a chat before it was too late. The 1090 is built for the long haul. Dirt roads, Forest Service roads. It's not a race bike. It's not intended for this. Seriously, don't do that. With enough clutch and throttle, anything can be wheelied. Riders meeting number 2 failed. They jetted off, not to be seen again until the end of the ride. Time for plan B. I would ride ahead and look out for trouble. No. Plan C. I would ride behind and sweep. Okay, there's Carl, and there's Andy. Let's go. Who are these guys? Carl is no slouch. He Ironmanned the Baja 1000 a few years ago. As well, he's a local race series champion. Andy, a 30B enduro racer, rock rider, mountain biker, vintage racer. Accomplished riders, but this is new to them. Check out how nervous Andy is when I get a bit too close.
No, we're not, man. Don't let me do that. Go.
He'll mellow out later in the ride. The first few miles are flat, but Carl and Andy are definitely paying more attention than they would on their KTM 350 race bikes. The terrain will get more challenging as we get closer to the mountain ahead. Here's the first test. A quick descent and climb out of a sand wash, rocky and loose. Andy had no problem with that. And the first problem. A rider bobbled in front of Carl who stalled the bike at the bottom of a sand wash.
I got your tire. Got your tire. Woo!
Andy shows the benefits of momentum on a 550-pound bike. Now I try it on my 300 two-stroke. The wide-angle lens of the GoPro makes everything look flat. These hills are pretty steep. You'll notice most of the video is of Andy. Carl's very busy riding fast ahead, like the way he used to ride in Baja. Andy gets his first taste of sand on the adventure bike. There'll be more today. Here's a treat. Sand whoops on a quarter-ton bike. Again, GoPro, wide angle, it's way steeper than it looks. Carl ahead, he had a little trouble on a rut on that hill. That mountain ahead, I was going to take the opportunity to tell them to stay away from that, but Carl takes off. Andy tries to go high, but he falls into the rut. Ah, that mountain. I was going to tell Carl about this, but he got too far ahead. The trail around that mountain is not 1090 friendly. Narrow, rocky, step-ups, drop-offs, exposure. I'm going to get there before he has an expensive tip-over, I hope. There he is, taking his time, stepping it through, being very patient on that heavy bike.
Well, that was about the toughest part of the loop. I was going to advise against that. Andy's going around.
I'm going to race up ahead to get some video of the climb. Should be an interesting challenge for the KTM Adventure bikes. Sure would hate to see someone crash. Here comes Andy.
Oh, fuck!
On the plus side, no witnesses. And now I get a chance to tail Carl for a while. Oh, a little bobble in the rut.
So Carl, how did the KTM Adventure fare in the single track?
Overall, really well. Momentum is your friend on a big bike. It's like think of it as a four-stroke on steroids. It's a big bike, so you got to keep momentum in the turns. You got to keep momentum on the hills. As long as you have the guts to twist the throttle, it'll do whatever you want. It's heavy in the sand, but again, momentum is fine. So, and suspension. If you're a plus-size gal like myself, you're probably gonna need to beef the force if you want to hit anything with any speed.
Holy cow! That is like a KTM Buy Me video.
Did you catch your own crash?
Oh God, yes. Include with an F-bomb.
You were ahead of us. He was on the hill. I'm looking up, waiting to go up the hill. All of a sudden, I just see Rick fall over with us.
I put my left foot down and there was nothing there.
Going slow is harder sometimes.
I was standing still. I was doing my video that way, and all of a sudden, boom!
the second deepest sand wash we've had so far today, and it will lead to some trouble ahead.
Very deep sand.
Slow speed in the sand means no momentum, and not an easy climb up that hill. Very loose. I'm keeping him from rolling back with my front tire. Not sure if he likes that or not, but that's what I do.
Need to go back a lot more. 6 inches at least.
Nice effort, but it's too loose. Time to go back and reset. If I'd had my wits about me, I would have had them wear my camera for a little bit of a personal point of view angle, but we're just too busy trying to survive a little bit. This will be a good test for going down a steep, loose downhill. Andy's doing his best not to lock up his tires, and I'm rolling down using gravity. It's a pretty steep hill and loose. This is the deepest and longest sand of the day. I'm going to stick close to see if Andy does anything strange. Back later.
The big thing is to remember, you're not saving it.
No.
Let it go.
Yeah.
So you're what, 5'6" or so?
5, 6,
And inseam is what?
30,
30 inseam on, and what's the seat height on that 1090?
34.
34. So when I was riding,
About this wide.
when I was riding behind you, you were always standing.
You have to influence the bike a lot. So if you look at trials riders, they're always dancing around on the bike. Because I'm so light and this is so heavy, I really have to exaggerate movements to get the bike to do what you want it to do. So downhill, I have to be sitting off the rear rack, which is a problem with short arms.
Well, our big question here was, how is this thing going to do in this very loose, looser than I remember, sugar sand? And that was the only time I saw either you or Carl having issues. And of course, Carl, with his long legs, was able to dab. You, on the other hand...
Well, I can dab once I bury the back tire down to the axle. It's no problem. But the problem is going. And it's fine if it's a long straightaway. You can get to second or third gear, and you can stay on top.
Now, you weren't doing traction control in the sand washer, were you? Or could you turn it off and on?
I prefer to have it off completely, or you can have it in off-road mode and it tames it a little bit. But to be honest, in this kind of stuff, I want to be fully connected to the throttle. I don't wonder about slipping and all that stuff. So I turn it off every time.
We went up this hill earlier in the day. It's rather steep, GoPro wide angle again, and I'm just going to roll down using the slope. Andy's getting used to the sand wash, but he's working. And now we're lost. We're off the trail. Can't find it. We're kind of doing some cross-country work here. We'll find it eventually. The trail's right behind me. Carl took his time going down that rocky, rutted downhill, and Andy will do the same. Deep sand wash. I sense impending doom.
I'm a little tired.
Yeah, we should take a break. We've been out here for an hour and a half. Stand by. 1, 2, 3, goodness gracious. Oh, you 12, 11, 90. Got it? What's your rest?
Just pop over it. No traction.
Yeah. Oh, that. I didn't even see that. That was a rock in a sand wash.
Tried to just pop over it and it just...
Why don't you hop over your leg and I'll rest you. Yeah, take your time. Take your time. Oh. Easy peasy. Huh.
The remainder of this ride is mostly all two-track. And after fighting through sand wash and twisty single track and ruts and ups and downs, Andy and Carl are ready to let it fly here. And notice he's not bitching at me for being too close. Time to play catch up. We're almost home.
Well, that was a fun ride.